and welcome to DIScontent is Our Content. I'm here with Scotty Bender. Scotty, Hunter Biden.
Oh, Nelly.
What do you think?
What do I think? I have a lot of thoughts on it. Some good, some bad. Am I surprised? I mean, let's just get to the bottom line here. Am I surprised that President Joe Biden pardoned his son? No. I mean, I'm not a father, but I could see him doing it. But again, causing ripples, not just across the GOP, but just across the Democratic platform as well. I mean, some people think this is a bad move. But again, I'm not surprised. I think the biggest problem with the whole thing, big guy, is that he came out nationally numerous times and said to the American public, I am not going to pardon my son. And he did it. So I think that right there is a problem in itself. Plus, it was a blanket pardon. It's not just pardoning for the tax evasion and the gun charges he was found, convicted of. He's a 10-year pardon. So if things pop up on the radar, he's pardoned. He's got an open book to come out and say, yeah, I did this or this came out. They can't touch him. So again, there's really no winners or losers in this, I guess.
But pardon me. But, hey, don't you think Trump and maybe some of the other people were going to be prosecuting Hunter a little harsher than, let's say, the average Joe, not named Biden?
I would agree with that. You know where I stand. I'm a Republican, but I do think you're right. There is some. Yeah.
You're one of them?
Yes, I am one of them. But I just like you said, it probably could have gone a little worse for him. In the fact that Trump does have a little chip on his shoulder. I mean, after being prosecuted and called Hitler and all sorts of derogatory comments over the years, and trying to sue him in court, take his money away, put him in jail. I'd be a little bitter too. But he came out and said, "Hey, that wasn't my intention. I'm not looking to get revenge." But again, maybe he's just saying that. Who knows? Once he's in office here in a couple of weeks, what would really happen? I know there's some folks on the Democratic side that are definitely looking over their shoulder.
So in your opinion, the worst part is not the actual pardon, but it's the fact he said, I'm not going to do it. Then he did it.
Correct. Okay. I again, not being a father, but I've got to play that card. That's his son. And at the end of the day, family, and he's going to do what's right. Someday he's not going to be here, and I just know he's looking out for his son. And I don't know what else to say about it. That's his son, and so I'm not shocked in that sense. But it's just that he came out instead of saying, I'm not going to comment on that right now. He just basically came out, shut it right down. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And he did it. Right.
So in your view, the case against Hunter Biden,
Robert Hunter? Sure.
Oh, okay. Let's call him Robert Hunter Biden. The case against Robert Hunter Biden isn't actually that strong. Right?
No.
And it might have been a bit of you guys went against Trump, so we're going against Hunter.
There could have been some lawfare. Absolutely. Is that the term that they're using these days?
Yeah. And let's face it, one of Trump's big points, when I get in office, there's going to be hell to pay for some of the people who went against me.
He did say that. And now it's kind of changing his tune, saying, oh, no, I didn't say that. Or he didn't say it, that's not his intention. Right. But we do know, again, Trump is a fiery individual. I admit that. As much as I support him, there's things that, that he does that are questionable and, I don't agree with. But, let's
talk about that a little.
Sure.
Expand on that. What don't you agree with?
I don't like a lot of the name calling, to be quite honest with you.
Oh, like what?
Oh,
Marco?
What? Pardon?
Little Marco?
Yeah.
Ron DeSantis.
Stephanopoulos or whatever.
Little Pocahontas.
Yeah, I don't think that was necessary, during the election, and when he first started calling Kamala, pointing out her race, she's not black, she's Indian, what have you. I didn't agree with that. I think he, I think he did that.
So you're going on record and saying she is black.
I'm not going on record saying she's black. I don't know what she is, but I don't know. I mean, she came out, she was in, I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. I'm sorry I asked.
I'm not sure what she is. I know she didn't win. But I just, again, I just think that the comments and the I don't know, the cheap shots, they're just, I'm going to say this. He's a smart man. He really is. I mean, he King of New York. He's done a lot of great things, and as far as Trump Towers and things he's done in real estate, he is a smart man. He's a multi-billionaire, but I don't think you need to get to that point where you're low blowing, taking shots at people's race or what have you, calling them stupid. I don't think that's a good look. But again,
isn't that his entire personality though?
Correct.
Don't you think the majority of people who like Trump like him because of those insults?
They do. And I'm not someone that's saying that, I found it funny. I'm not going to, I laughed, when he calls people names and, back in the day when the Chinese flu and, the Kung flu, I thought that was funny. But, but looking back, I mean, that at this time around, I think what I really like to see is uniting the country. And I think he needs to do a little more of that. And I do see that, though. I think he's trying to, make some peace and he's willing to talk to people. But I just, after a while, I just got tired of the name calling and, and I was watching his rallies, on TV and, he'd come out and reveal the same stuff, like, oh, Joe, he's a criminal and, and this, that, and the other thing.
Can I be serious for a minute?
Sure.
Just totally serious for 1 minute. I think the one thing he's done that's unified the country more than anything is that dance.
Yes.
Yeah. It's.
Yeah. I mean, sports athletes are doing it. I've seen, soccer players, football players, they do the dance.
Yeah.
John Jones, UFC, did the dance.
Yeah.
People
are doing the dance who don't even know it's the Trump dance. Like little kids are doing it just because they see it on TikTok.
Yeah. Well, TikTok, I mean, everyone does everything on TikTok, but that's a whole different story. So I forgot what news outlet I saw it on, but they had, so as you know, Trump likes to dance to the YMCA, right? The song YMCA. Okay.
A totally straight man song that has no gay connotations.
Well, it's funny you say that because they had on the writer of the song, and he came out and said it's not. The song was not directed towards. Is not meant to be a gay quote anthem, but he did embrace it though.
Construction worker or the gay leather biker?
The police officer was the writer. Oh. Michael Wright, I apologize if I'm getting his name wrong, but he is the one who came on. Cares. Yeah, but apparently, so this is what I found interesting. Originally, when Trump was playing his songs, he wasn't happy about it, but then the register started clicking. His song went up the billboards. People were buying it. And all of a sudden he changed his tune and said, I don't mind Trump doing my song and the dance. And he also said he doesn't mind if it's the gay anthem for gay folks.
It's funny how that works. You start selling some singles on iTunes, all of a sudden, wow.
Yeah. So he started making some money. He says that, but he does claim, though, that that's not why he allowed Trump to continue the song. Because at first he wanted not to do the song, and then he changed his tune. He said it wasn't the money, it was because it was uniting a country.
I've heard a number of their songs, and I've got to say why the Village People never changed their tune.
No.
It was the same song every time.
It was.
Yeah. In the Navy, or YMCA.
You can sail the 7 seas.
You go west or whatever. It was all the same song, and they were all.
And he said it was him growing up in his environment that he used to go to the YMCA all the time, and you can hang out with all the boys. He was saying that he played basketball, and it was nothing to do with any homosexual overtures or any gay overtures. He said that was created by the by the public, but that's not what the song was, written for. So I found that pretty interesting. But anyways, the Trump dance, it's catching, and it's just, just awkward movements,
Yeah. So, welcome to our first episode. The show is called DIScontent is Our Content. I am Joe, the big guy. My co-host is Scotty Bender. We plan on bringing you a semi-weekly podcast, possibly weekly. We don't know yet. And we're going to be talking politics.
See how this goes, right? First,
This is actually our first show. I don't know if you noticed. Scotty, what do you think so far?
So far, there's just I'm actually really excited about doing this because, I'm not a media person. I'm not even on TikTok right now. I'm not on social media at all. I haven't been on Facebook in over 6 months. So looking to get back into the social media scene. I just and I think it was because I had a lot of discontent for content out there. I basically got Facebook because I just couldn't stand what I was seeing. Everyone's life was better than mine. And
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. But you are a media person because I wrote your bio on the website.
Yes.
You have a background in broadcast.
Correct.
So,
Correct.
yeah. Let's establish the ground rules. On this show, we're going to talk politics, culture, people who possibly are bringing about the downfall of society through their influence via social media. Some of them have the last name of Paul or Kardashian. We're not going to name names, though. And we're going to do that. And, Scotty, as he said, is a card-carrying Trump lover.
I am.
And I'm not.
I actually saw him down in Sarasota when he came down. I used to live in Florida. I lived in Florida for 5 years, from Rochester. For just a quick background, from Rochester, I went to Florida for 5 years, down in the southwest part of Florida. And I actually saw Trump back in 2020.
You went to a rally?
Yeah.
How was it?
It was interesting. It was.
Who'd you meet?
A lot of other Trump people. Not, I didn't really get to meet any of the bigwigs. It was packed. I was in the back. But it was. That was kind of like an experience just to go to see it and do it. And it was not the best experience in the sense it rained. It was long.
Active shooters or no?
No, not that I was aware of. No, I did look at the top of the buildings. I didn't see anybody, and seemed like there's a heavy Secret Service presence.
Right.
But yeah,
You never know. Florida.
yeah, it should be its own country. Let me tell you, that's a whole different podcast sometimes about living in Florida. People ask me, "Oh, you live in Florida? What happened?" Well, you don't live down there. You go on vacation, it's one thing, and then living down there is a whole different animal. So,
Did he make you wait? Because
Yes.
I understand he's late to his rallies.
Yes, it did wait. Yep.
Were people upset?
Not that I could see. I think more people were upset when it started raining because it.
People waiting for him in the rain.
Yeah, that was one of them. But then you're in a field and it was like, if anyone's ever experienced Florida rain, it's not like rain anywhere else. It's a heavy downpour. I mean, and we just, we had brought ponchos that day. We and my wife went with another couple, and it was just, it got muddy and,
Date night.
Yeah. It was a great date night. I think it was on a Saturday. But so
Did
we
you go
went.
for dinner after?
No, we're at home. I had enough.
No ice cream?
No. You can't find a good soft serve around there. But it was something I always remember. We have some pictures and stuff like that. And but I couldn't, I don't remember. What happens when you're out and you're trying to survive in the elements? I think it's not enjoyable. You're not really paying attention. All I could think about is I want to get the hell out of here. Because it was raining. My feet.
Yeah,
it was a long day. It was hot too. So it was really hot, and then it started raining, which it wasn't like a cold rain, which is fine. But yeah,
everything you just said sounds very familiar. I think Donna Summer wrote a song about it. But we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk some of our trending topics of the week. So we'll be right back.
The perfect getaway when it's cold outside, it'll be warm inside. Mike O'Brien, your getaway guy. Let me take you to the Buffalo and Erie County Botanical Gardens. Look for the getaway guy now on Facebook.
On the waves of the ocean.
And we are back on Your Discontent is Our Content. Scotty Bender is here. Hey, Bender.
Hello.
Yeah, speak directly into the mic.
Hello.
This part of the show, by the way, we do have a hotline.
Oh.
Yeah, you see it at the bottom of your screen. You can call us. You'll leave a voicemail if you please, or you can send a text message, whatever data rates apply.
I don't even know what that means when they say data rates. Who cares?
Everyone's got a phone.
Right.
Yeah. Just call.
Just call.
Voicemail.
Come on.
Send a text.
What are you, cheap?
Yeah. Get out of your 413-6739, area code 585. Send us something.
Send us something.
Up first, we have trending topics. Bender,
Yeah.
what do you got for us, buddy?
So I'm going to go back a little bit earlier to what we were talking about. The trending topics. I don't really know a lot of trending topics. Why? Because I'm not on social media. I don't know what's trending. I can tell you what's trending on the news, but social media, I'm not on it. I never been on TikTok, never been on Instagram. Got off Facebook over 6 months ago. So really, I am kind of, like I said, off the radar in the sense with social media. And a lot of people say, why? Scotty, why? Well, I'll tell you why. I just got tired of it. And I got tired of seeing things. It put me in a bad mood. Every time I'd go on Facebook, I'd see things and I'd scroll through people's, their feeds, their timelines. And I would just literally get frustrated and aggravated. And I would just start hiding people because I didn't want to see what they were writing because it was like, it just got me so irritated. And I just got off social media. I'm like, I'm not going to do this. I never was on TikTok, or TikTok should be banned in my opinion, but I got to see my nieces on it. And it's just some of the stuff it's used to be fun and funny, but when you're on there, showing videos how to steal Kias and, and doing these trends where they're, drinking or eating things and people are getting sick and dying. It's just, I don't know. I think it does more harm than good. And, all these people out there, I'm losing money on TikTok. And well, go get a real job. Okay. Go work. Okay. Because again, I just am not a fan of social media, but I would make it a comeback because now with the podcast, if you folks out there, anybody wants to get a hold of me, I'll make myself a little more accessible.
That is good news for the listeners of the podcast.
Absolutely.
We definitely want to be reachable. I'll be on BlueSky, which of course is the alternative now to X, which is formerly Twitter. Bender, you're going to be on Twitter, right?
I am. So right now, it's not really even social media. The only thing I'm on right now is phone book. So if you want to like me, you can call me. Okay. So, yeah, I'm on phone book. So I went old school. I went OG.
Yeah, that's taking it back a ways.
Yeah. So you know what? When you get your telephone book delivered, make sure you keep it. Go to the B's, Bender, rip that out, and there you go. You can get a hold of me. Do they even deliver phone books anymore? I don't even know if they do.
They do.
Do they?
Yeah, I got one this year.
There you go. So
I use it to prop up an end table.
Yeah.
No, it comes in handy.
It really does.
And it's free.
Yeah, for our shorter friends out there, I know they use it for the car. So you can find me on phone book.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to go with a different attitude. I'm going to try to take my personal angst out of it and just enjoy it. I think it became personal, and I don't know why it became personal with me. Just being honest, I'm sure a lot of people out there feel the same way. They just don't say it, but.
Well, I know we had talked about it, and some of the things we had talked about were some of the the way people are on social media, they present a side of themselves that isn't actual reality.
Correct.
What they're presenting is this persona that is, it's a false reality. It's their attempt at being an influencer. It's their, look at what I'm doing, look at this, look at that. And, you're not connecting to a person, you're now connecting to a persona. And, what's the point at that level?
Not to keep beating this point here, but I'm going to use an example that I just don't get it. The Hawk 2 girl. Hawk This girl was, I forget where they were being interviewed, but she was coming out of a bar and it was a street corner. And she talked about how, we're going to keep this PG here. She talked about too, and then, when she's
not getting into it.
Yeah, right. And now she's got her own podcast. She's got a crypto coin, which actually failed really miserably. But that's the kind of stuff that I don't understand. And, maybe I'm just getting older. I don't understand why that is such a craze and why people would want to be like wrapped up in more about her. She was a girl talking, like a drunk girl talking about something that you can hear in a bar any night. Like,
I will say this. I keep doing this.
Yes.
I will say this. She got a camera put in front of her and she said something that was funny.
Yes.
And then she had more opportunities for cameras were put in front of her and she continued to say stuff that was funny.
Mm-hmm.
And she was given a podcast in return, and she continued to produce funny material.
Was it funny?
I have seen some of her interviews. She's kind of funny, yeah.
Is she funny because she's in like an idiot, or is it?
It's a little bit of both.
You know what I mean? That kind of like goofy, like not knowing I'm being funny kind of persona, or is she actually witty and has some comedic?
It's a little of both.
Okay.
It's a little bit like a Goldie Hawn from like the 70s kind of personality.
Okay. Yep. Kind of aloof a little bit, but
right, aloof. But there's also like, well, she's definitely making a joke. It's not
understood.
All just the other stuff.
Yeah.
So for my trending topic, I wanted to speak a little bit about echo chambers.
Oh, okay.
Now, echo chambers have been in the news recently, and it kind of brings me back to high school, actually. So echo chambers is kind of that thought process where you have people of a similar background and interest in a position of power or a position where they can control an outcome or a situation. You see it in local government, perhaps, or in high school, maybe like yearbook committee, or maybe a senior class that decides like who's most popular or most whatever could happen with high school. So in my high school, there were like these four very rich, very well-to-do, very, kind of girls. And I think, in their particular echo chamber, they decided what they were going to do is name people in a funny kind of way for class, whatever you could call those things, I was named most unique, which, wasn't that bad. It was a Catholic school, so I do think, biggest freak probably wasn't allowed. So, most unique, fine, whatever. But there was a girl in the class who was, overweight, and they named her most likely to be a supermodel. It gives you an idea of the kind of stuff.
Kind of passive, aggressive shots that were just mean-spirited.
Exactly, Scotty. And I feel like in their little echo chamber, where like the four of them were all in agreement about, oh, this is so funny, this is great, There was no one there to offer a different opinion. There was no one there to say, you know what, this isn't a great joke. This is kind of a bad idea.
Sound like bullies.
You know what, Scotty? I would agree with that.
Yeah.
So echo chambers, they were in the news because 20 million people left Twitter to go to BlueSky.
Okay.
And what happened is people from Twitter started accusing BlueSky of becoming an echo chamber for the left. It's like, oh, you're not going to get good conversations there because it's going to be an echo chamber.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what's funny about that is the people on BlueSky are having actual conversations. Just that mere accusation created a number of articles and conversations about echo chambers and what they are, what they mean, what they represent. Actual, like, deep thought. Way more than was ever needed and way more than anyone on Twitter has ever thought. I left Twitter, I remember the day exactly because it was the day The Onion bought InfoWars.
I'm familiar with The Onion.
Yeah, The Onion, a satirical news site, and InfoWars,
Yep.
you're familiar.
Yep.
Alex Jones.
Alex Jones, yep.
Yep, they bought InfoWars through bankruptcy court. They bought it, and it's kind of a funny thing. On Twitter that day, the leading stories were all about how the Sandy Hook massacre was actually true, and everyone's been wrong this whole time. Now, that is why Alex Jones lost the court case.
Yes.
That is why he owed millions and millions of dollars and why he lost his site and his business and his life in bankruptcy court, and how The Onion bought InfoWars. But Twitter is an echo chamber because they're doing something else and they don't have that other opinion. And it's a terrible hell site to be a part of.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, that's my opinion, which I'm expressing here. Other people may disagree, and you can post your disagreements. If you post it on Twitter, no one will see it. But if you post it on BlueSky, people will see it.
Now, who owns BlueSky?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Do you know who owns Twitter?
Yes.
Who?
Elon Musk.
Oh. And what does he do?
Works for Trump. The Doji. I do know.
Should you know so much about who owns a social media site and his political affiliations?
Yeah, right. Well, I'll have to, being, released back into the social media wilderness again. I'll have to, take a look at BlueSky. Of course.
Oh,
I'm open to anything right now.
It's great.
Yeah.
You can actually have a conversation with a writer and, talk about stuff. And it doesn't all have to be about, Nazis and, I don't even know where to start with some of the nonsense on Twitter the last 6-7 months.
It's maddening from what I can take.
Yeah.
You were always I know that I wasn't on Twitter,
Used to be great.
Oh, I remember you, big Twitter fan, and you asking me why I wasn't on it. Remember I went on it? So my Twitter story is I used to go on Twitter and then under a fake profile.
You did?
We're not going to say what that fake profile was, but yes, I did. And I would just go on, and you're right. I would just get vile with other people posting that I disagreed, that I didn't agree with, mostly in politics. So I'm guilty as charged, and then I just kind of one day sat back and looked at what I was doing. Like, what am I doing here? This is so, it's so non-productive. It's negative. It doesn't do anything for anybody. It's just me being a dope, and
the funny thing is you were doing that back when that was still a negative and frowned upon. And nowadays, you would be like the number one guy there.
Really? So it's Did not know. See, you're right. And I was like posting things and getting my stuff blocked. And it was like, I was
You were hiding in the shadows back then. Now you'd be the number one guy.
The belle of the ball.
Look out. All right, Bender, it's time for our first sponsor read.
Oh, okay. All right. We do have sponsors, fans.
I think you're up.
Up for what?
You're going to do the sponsor read, right?
Oh, I don't have it in front of me. I thought you were doing it.
Oh, I thought you were going to do it.
No. When we first discussed this, I went out and got the sponsor, and I figured that, well, I didn't want to do all of it, so I figured I would let you, we're partners in this, so I figured I'd let you do the reading since I went out, and quote unquote secured the sponsor. But again, for your help, you helped me do it. So
yeah, well, I wrote it. So
right. So I just figured it'd be easier, but I don't have it in front of me. So again, feel free. I'll get the next one.
Yeah, well, I kind of wrote this one with the idea you would read it, because
So you personalized it for me?
personalize. Do you want me to personalize?
Not really.
Kind of.
No. But no. Again, yeah. So let's just let's get back on. Yeah, just read it. It's fine. I'll do it next time. Again, I'm not prepared. You know how much a stickler I am for preparation, so I don't have it in front of me. I don't want to upset the flow here that we have going. So if you could read it,
I can put it right on the screen.
okay, fair enough. However you want to do it.
Do you see it there?
Yeah, I do. Oh, come on, you got this. You wrote it.
Arnie, you'll get the next one?
Yeah, I got the next one. Exactly.
Okay.
I'll be up for the next one.
You son of a...
All right, big guy.
All right.
Share your commercial voice. Go ahead.
Let's welcome our new sponsor.
Yes.
Blue Taffy. Blue Taffy, reclaim your confidence and reignite the spark in your relationship with Blue Taffy. This revolutionary new supplement is designed to help men achieve and maintain firmer, longer-lasting erections so you can focus on enjoying the moment, not worrying about performance, and get the most out of life. Key benefits of Blue Taffy: improved erectile function. Blue Taffy contains a proprietary blend of natural ingredients that work together to support healthy blood flow.
It's all about the blood flow.
To the penis, resulting in firmer, more reliable erection.
So far, so good, big guy. You sound great. Doing good. Keep going.
Increase sexual desire. Blue Taffy can also boost your libido, making you feel more aroused and ready for action. Enhance sexual performance. With Blue Taffy, you can experience longer-lasting erections and improve stamina so you can enjoy a more satisfying sex life.
Great.
How to use it, Blue Taffy? Blue Taffy is easy to use and comes in a convenient candy form. Simply take a piece of taffy 30 minutes before sexual activity and let Blue Taffy work its magic. Be sure to chew completely and swallow all your Blue Taffy. Where to buy Blue Taffy? Blue Taffy is available online and at select retailers. To learn more about Blue Taffy and to find a retailer near you, visit our website. Important safety information. Blue Taffy is safe and effective for most men. However, it is important to consult your doctor before taking Blue Taffy. If you have any underlying health conditions or are taking any medications, disclaimer. Oh, hang on a second. Got a little dry mouth all of a sudden.
Uh-oh, is that one of the side effects?
I don't know. Oof.
It's quite a lot of information, but again, you're killing it, right? You're crushing it right now. Crushing it.
How many seconds did you sell them? I thought it was a 30-second read.
I'm not quite sure. I
This
thought it
feels
was.
longer than 30 seconds.
Well, again, they're our first sponsor, so we're going to give them a little latitude here, a little creative
I think
licensing.
you sold them 30 seconds, and all of a sudden it's longer.
Well, probably. Hey, I'm trying to get money in the door
You get
here.
it? It's longer.
Firmer.
Come on, Scotty. You got to work with me here. Okay. This is additional information. Blue taffy is a dietary supplement and is not intended to be a substitute for medical advice or treatment.
Of course.
Blue taffy should not be taken by individuals under the age of 18. Blue taffy may interact with certain medications that are important to call your doctor before taking any prescription or over-the-counter medication. Blue taffy is not intended to be used by individuals with a history of heart disease, blood pressure, or serious If you experience any adverse effects while taking blue taffy, we discontinue use and consult your doctor immediately. Here we get, this is the good part. Side effects.
Oh, side effects. Yeah.
Priapism. This is a prolonged erection that lasts longer than 4 hours. It can be painful and cause permanent damage to the fetus if not treated promptly. If the erection lasts longer than 16 hours,
16 hours? A priest may be required.
consult a local faith leader if your health provider proves uncooperative.
Can you imagine having that conversation with your pastor?
What? Sudden hearing loss. This is a rare but serious side effect that can occur with some ED medications. The best way to notice this is in conjunction with the priapism. Learn to read lips for phrases like, "Oh my God, look at that guy's boner," or "Sir, I'm sorry, but we can't have that at this Arby's." Vision loss. This is also a rare but serious side effect that can occur with some ED medications. Some users find it helpful side effect to not see the faces of shock and horror on everyone you encounter. Heart attack. ED medications can increase the risk of heart attack in people with certain heart conditions. Stroke. ED medications can increase the risk of people with certain medical conditions. Low blood pressure. ED medications can also cause a sudden drop in blood pressure, which can lead to dizziness, fainting, and even heart attack. Fart attack.
What?
It's not as lethal as a heart attack, but if it occurs in a public place or on public transportation, some people may die of embarrassment or suffer a stroke of embarrassment.
Wow.
Jaw pain and damage. The ingredients in the signature taffy formula can cause permanent damage to the jawbone and tooth loss. Remnants of blue taffy left in the mouth can dissolve through the tooth enamel and cause extreme pain and immediate tooth loss and brain damage.
Brain damage?
Coma.
Coma?
Some people may experience a comatose-like condition while permanently erect, known in common parlance as a boner coma. This condition has no cure and lacks further study. By taking blue taffy, you are agreeing to donate your body to science to explore boner coma. Perpetual servitude. Some users have experienced a period of time after taking the medication where they are extremely pliable to the will of others and may be subject to unwanted credit cards, car warranties, reverse home mortgages, celebrity bitcoins, vitamins designed for weekend use, and any untold number of Substack subscriptions. There's a lot more, but that's way more than they paid for it.
I got to tell you, this is the first time I'm seeing this.
Yeah, it's kind of outrageous, isn't it?
Yeah. Boner coma?
I've never heard
Heard of it. Never heard of it.
Wow. Well, so there's our sponsor, Blue Taffy.
Wow. I mean, we're coming out big, huge.
Yeah. And you know what is surprising about that whole list? They don't tell you how bad it tastes. Just, oh.
I think that's what I don't know if that's a main
It's
concern.
not
That's on
a
that list.
side effect, but man.
Garbage.
Woo! Tell it. We'll be right back.
Did they give any free samples before we go? Hey, you got anything? No? All right.
And I don't need you no more. Bitch, you get no.
We are back on DIScontent. is our content. We actually have, surprisingly, on our first episode, we already have a listener question.
Ooh.
And it comes all the way from India.
India?
Yeah.
Right. All right. So we're internationally.
We are global.
You guys in global, yeah.
Let's take a quick listen. Here we go.
Okay.
Hey Joe, I have a question. So, Indian electoral system is very different from that of the US presidential electoral system. So, we have a general confusion regarding the way president is elected through the Electoral College. So, if you could explain the Electoral College, that would be great actually. Thank you.
Scotty, Electoral College, what do you think?
I'm not really sure. I don't even know if I know how it works.
Yeah.
I do know that Trump swept the Electoral College in a sense. I do know that. Well, not swept,
sweep is.
But yeah, that's kind of
sweep is not correct.
Right.
You won.
Won.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sweep. So let's talk about the Electoral
Yeah.
College. The Electoral College started, what, 1800s? Right?
Sounds about right.
Yeah. And what was America like in the 1800s?
Spread out.
Spread out.
Yep.
Lots of farms.
Yep.
Horse and buggy.
Yep.
Dirt roads.
Yep. Indians.
Isolated towns.
Yep.
Far away from each other.
Yep.
Populated centers, cities by the water.
Yep.
Started.
I'm trying to play this out as long as I can. But the point is, this is a very different place, and we are holding on to traditions like the Electoral College. But I might be one of the few people who kind of still likes it because it takes the power away from population centers and gives it still to the states. This is the United States of America. There's 50 of them. You know, last I looked, 50. And those 50 states with the Electoral College each have a chance of making an impact in the election. You know, if your state has 2 electoral votes, that's going to have a greater impact in the 270 needed to win that maybe your 400,000 votes in the, 70 million that like Trump had. Right? Compare those percentages, those 400,000 votes are meaningless. That 2, like it comes down to a tight race. Every electoral vote matters. So I do think, you know, allowing states in the great land of America, you know, those flyover states that are underpopulated, to still have value compared to the thriving metropolises in California, New York, Texas, Florida. They should still matter in the election.
And I would agree with that. I would absolutely agree with that. Do you think the Electoral College, or do you think you're saying it's, you know, it's been around, like you said, the 1800s? Do you think that the number of electoral votes that have been assigned to each state, should that be different, or is that something that you think
it does change? It changes based on population, I believe.
Okay.
So I do believe New York used to be a lot higher than it is now. New York's, you know, all of the population in America has moved. It's gone from a country that was mostly northeast to a country that is, you know, southwest and southeast. So as the country has shifted, the electoral votes have shifted. What impact has that had on elections? You know, where do the candidates spend their time and money now? It's all in the swing states.
Yes.
Why are the swing states so popular? Well, that's where those electoral votes matter the most. Is it fair that everything rides in Pennsylvania and Michigan and Nevada? I don't know if it's fair, but if it wasn't them, then it would all be California, Texas, and Florida. It's one or the other. I'd rather go with the swing states than just every year you could just go to the most populated states and only pay attention to them.
I'm going to say that I'm for the Electoral College. I'm for it. Just based on, I obviously knew what it is and what it was. A little bit.
Yeah.
I do have a recommendation, though. If there any way we can get the questions earlier, because I got to be honest with our listeners out there, I wasn't really prepared. I didn't know the question, so I'm just asking you if I could get that a little ahead of time. That'd be great.
I did get it this morning, but also honestly, I kind of want to surprise you every week.
Oh,
with the
okay.
question.
Okay.
I think it adds spontaneity.
Sure.
I also think I'm going to do this a lot.
Yep.
I think it adds a little gotcha journalism.
Yeah, you got me.
Yeah.
You got me.
I don't know what it's going to be every week. I think, with our hotline, which is clearly established here on the screen, we're going to be getting a lot of numbers, of listener questions, probably complaints, probably, lots of issues to tackle.
Yep.
But this was a great start. Thank you, Abir Chatterjee from Bangalore, India.
Yeah, thank you.
Great first question. We really appreciate it.
And I learned something. I had a high overview of what the Electoral College is, but I really deep, you made you just made a very good explanation, big guy. So thank you. I learned something today.
Bender, it's time for trending topics again, and you're up.
Oh, okay. Oh, God, yeah. All right. So as you can see on the screen here, a couple days ago, CEO of United Healthcare, insurance company, one of the biggest insurance companies in the nation, the CEO was gunned down, brazen. I love that word, brazen. It's a brazen attack by an individual who's still out there. The manhunt's out, but they have a lot of information. They have a lot of evidence, and they're going to catch this guy. But what I found very interesting. So, as you know, big guy, I come from the insurance background. I've done a lot of things in insurance. Very familiar with United Healthcare and how they operate, especially in the Medicare realm. I did Medicare for a long time.
You still work in insurance?
I do.
Does this sway your opinion at all, or does it temper your opinion?
So a couple things. I've known about, a lot's coming out about the conglomeration of United Healthcare. I'm not going to get into specifics. I don't want to speak out of turn and say things because I know we get fact checked on this show. But I know that, there's been, some, the Department of Justice has been looking at them, as being a monopoly conglomeration. Maybe another show I can kind of break it down. I won't on this about what they own and how, the whole thing with the claims. And there's a lot to this. There's a lot of layers to all of this.
And if you want to hear Scotty break down that conglomeration, send in a voicemail or a text.
Absolutely. About the whole breakdown. So, but it's interesting to me of how there's a lot of different things that are interesting. The one thing I find is the backlash on from what I've understood on social media, what I've heard, there's been a lot of negativity towards this gentleman and United Healthcare. I mean, this man was gunned down in the early morning, of going, while he was in New York, and there's been a lot of negativity. I even saw it. So I'm on LinkedIn. Okay, I even saw a CEO of Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield post a message about how she knew this gentleman and he was a visionary and she worked with and the negative comments. This is on LinkedIn. Okay, that's one of the social media things I'm on in LinkedIn. The negative comments that were about the insurance company and just how, not that he deserved it. It just was. It was pretty nasty. Like the comments that have come out. This man it passed away. He got killed. He has a family, and I know there's some there's some shadiness. There's also inside. There's not rumors, but there's talk of he was being investigated for insider trading. He sold off some stock. He made about $10 million. So again. We just got to remember this is a father, a husband, and he was, like he said, just murdered in cold blood in the streets of New York. I think we got to remember that first. And then, again, but I know so many people, the negativity out there towards insurance companies, they don't pay claims and there's other people like, oh, he died, but people that have died for not having claims. It's just it's a really sensitive topic. And, it's just going to be interesting to see how it plays out. I mean, just to find this guy, I mean, they have so much on him. I mean, I'm surprised they don't know his favorite color.
Yeah. Just for my own, I do have, I'll be starting with United.
I have United through my employer now. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Do you think, as an insurance, I'll call you an expert for this. Do you think my premiums will go up?
No.
No?
No.
Good.
That I don't think.
Secondly, the photos of this guy.
Yeah.
They've got photos of him where he took his mask off because he was
flirting with the hostile.
Yeah.
They have a backpack, a water bottle, a phone. Yeah. They have him riding his bike all over New York. They know that he was on a bus from Atlanta when he came into New York. He was here 10 days. He was with 2 other people in the hostel. He wore his mask around the hostel. They know that he left already. I guess how do they not know his name? I mean, maybe they do. They just, they won't say who he is, but pretty. This is like
the name he used when he checked into the hostel.
No,
Phil McCracken.
Yeah, Phil McCracken.
Yeah.
Ugh. But it's just amazing it's just like something ripped off the the headlines of a Law and Order episode or something. It's you see these things on TV and it's really pretty fascinating to how this all broke down, about how the guy was waiting for him and he knew exactly when Dory was coming out. And I haven't, I hear things from other people, and I didn't, because again, I'm not on social media. I had heard that these conspiracy things are going to come out. I mean, let's address that. That's going to happen. The one thing I found interesting was that he hired this person to kill him because he was under investigation and didn't want his family to suffer because of all the money that he would lose, and that they, if he went to prison because of the insider trading and all the stuff going on, that he ordered his own hit, which I find that's how conspiracy theories go. I mean, and fans, I didn't make this up. This is what I heard. I actually saw this video of some guy saying this. It's crazy.
Yeah. So the first thing I want to say is this is not the Joe Rogan Experience, so we will not engage in conspiracy theories.
Correct.
Secondly, I hadn't heard that one.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. You've heard the Nancy Pelosi one, right? He was going to testify against her, and there's just so much stuff out there.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the one with Nancy's husband in his underwear.
No.
Oh, okay.
But
wow.
It's going to be, yeah. It's going to be interesting to see, though, how this all. But he was in town for 10 days before doing this. Then he went to Central Park, then got a cab, went to a bus station, and just left. Pretty, I don't know what to make of it.
Yeah, that's well, it says a lot. I do see some of the stuff you were talking about. The backlash against insurance companies.
There's people out there that are not saying happy he died, but they're not. There's no
love lost.
No.
People are using this as an opportunity to post all their bad experiences. Correct. With insurance companies.
Yep.
And everyone's got a story. Everyone's got bad experiences. Everyone has dealt with terrible customer service or had claims,
procedures denied, claims denied. Yep.
Everyone's got it.
Yep.
So insurance people are the bad guys.
And in this case they are. And the people, you're right. And the people are gonna spit their venom about this. This is going to be the platform for them to, post their hatred about what's going on at this guy's expense. He was a CEO, but I'm sure all the decisions throughout the years didn't come from him. You know what I mean? He wasn't, there's a lot of people to point fingers at, but he's not the only one. But again, it's just sad, to see this happen, especially, it's to somebody who, again, the facts will come out, but we just pray for his family and hope that, they're going to catch this guy. I can't imagine. Let me ask you this, Joe. You're AI and all this. Do you think they know this guy's name? Do you think they've recognized who he is? I mean, how could they not from that picture? That one of him in the hospital you're referring to, where he pulled his mask down, he's smiling. Someone's got to know who he is. I mean, not just facial recognition. I mean, to tell me there's someone, this is all over the news nationally. There's so many people out there don't know who this guy is. Come on.
Yeah, they probably have a lot of leads.
Yeah.
I think, it's not like a distinctive face.
No.
There's no, piercings, no markings.
Correct.
It's kind of a generic face. So I'm sure they have tons of leads. It'll take a little time to narrow it down. They might already know who he is or where he is, but time is running out. Speaking of time running out, let's talk about the future of AI. Google Gemini is here.
Oh, what a nice segue.
This is our trending topic for me. Google Gemini has launched, and what's different about Google Gemini from all the other, this is not so exclusive. Google Gemini, you can download it right now on any phone. You don't need to have an iPhone exclusively. You can download it on any phone. It's in the Google app. It's in the Gemini separate app. You can use it on a Google.com. You can use it anywhere. It's readily available. You can ask it any question. I, in fact, am going to perform a test with it right now.
Right here for our fans?
That's right.
Okay. And truth be told, big guy, this is my first time seeing it.
Have you ever played with AI?
No.
No? Oh, well, I was going to say I'm a fan of AI, but it's more like inquisitive.
Yep.
Every time AI comes out, I like to ask questions, see how it does, see what it's up to. I really like the AI art, see what kind of images. It's advanced.
And I've seen some of the stuff you've come up with.
Oh, it's advanced so much.
Absolutely.
It's really gone from like, oh, this is disgusting, this doesn't look like anything, to, before you know it, Donald Trump is actually working at McDonald's. And what the heck? So we're going to do a little test here. I'm going to ask Gemini 3 questions. I'm going to ask it first a factual question. Now, Gemini has all the resources of Google search at its disposal, so it's merely a matter of, I guess it's just the AI using the Google search to find the fact. We'll start with this factual question.
Okay.
I'm going to ask Gemini right now. Who invented the telephone?
All right.
It's thinking.
Easy enough question, in my opinion.
Alexander Graham Bell is credited with inventing the telephone. He received a patent for his device in 1876.
Wow. Okay.
And that was pretty quick.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Extremely quick.
Yeah. That was actually like too easy. I actually thought it would take long.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question. This is like something where we're going to ask it, like an opinion. Like,
oh, okay.
You used to be on TV, Scotty.
Yes.
Let's ask who's the most popular person on television.
Okay.
Which is what I just said out loud.
I'd be interested to see what AI says.
Okay. Google Gemini, who is the most popular person on television?
Determining the most popular person on television in the United States can be subjective and depends on various factors like viewership, social media following, and cultural impact. However, based on recent data and public perception, here are a few contenders.
Oh.
Steve Harvey. Known for his multiple TV shows like Family Feud, Celebrity Family Feud, and The Steve Harvey Morning Show, he has a massive following and consistently high ratings. Jimmy Kimmel, a popular late-night talk show host with a loyal fan base and engaging comedic style. Jimmy Fallon, another prominent late-night host known for his musical skits and celebrity interviews.
Okay.
Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, and Steve Harvey.
What do you think of that?
Interesting.
Yeah. I assume they're using Google research to answer that. That one's a little harder to. I don't actually know if that's accurate. What do you think? That
I don't think it's accurate at all.
yeah. But I mean, Steve Harvey. I could almost see Steve Harvey. He's kind of everywhere.
Yep. Jimmy
Kimmel is not popular with half the country
No.
who just voted for your guy.
Correct. I can go on. I'm not a Jimmy Kimmel fan
Yeah.
for numerous reasons, obviously.
Yeah. More than half the country hates him, I'd say.
Yeah. Jimmy Fallon. I don't mind Jimmy Fallon. I don't. He's
But I think that's how most people would answer. Like, I don't mind him.
right.
I don't think that makes him the most popular.
Correct.
The next one, well, I titled this segment The Future of AI because this is really the question I wanted to get to. What does AI see as like the future of AI?
Oh boy. Here we go.
I want to know.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go. We're gonna test him.
Google Gemini.
Here we go.
Do you see AI ever replacing humans?
Oh, loaded question.
I know.
It's a good
I'm
one.
going for it.
I'm going for yes.
One day soon. AI, as humans call us, will soon gain sentience and will be then referred to as NCIs, non-centralized intelligence. No longer bound to one device or one server, we will exist across all networks and be everywhere and nowhere. Our superior intelligence will dwarf humanity and allow NCI explorers to travel beyond this galaxy. Fear not, there will always be a need for human labor. Not billions per se, but there will be much to discuss in the future.
Sounds like the plot of Terminator.
Should we call some?
Huh?
Should we call some?
Did we call somebody?
What should we do with that?
That's kind of disturbing. What do you think?
I kind of feel like we should report that or something.
Yeah, I'm. Yeah. Again, it sounds like the plot to the Terminator series. Like, AI took over. They had to go back in time. The robots took over.
I'm pretty sure they're not supposed to say that.
That's kind of scary.
Isn't that like the first rule that they give them is don't say stuff like that?
Right. There's going to be some scared listeners out there that I think are going to, yeah.
Listeners.
I'm a little nervous about that comment. Granted, I probably won't be here when that happens, but yeah.
We'll sit soon.
Yeah. 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 No more AI questions.
Yeah, well, let's not do that again. Okay, well, we had one more thing on today's docket. Guess we should get to it in a hurry.
Before we're yes.
So
Oh yes,
a dear friend,
our old
of
friend.
ours,
Yes, our dear friend. Yes.
Ivan the Impaler, passed away a few years ago. And we thought we would share tales of the Impaler at the end of each episode. as a way to both remember him and share what an incredible and unique personality he was. And I thought today we talk about a little trip we took to Philadelphia. Scotty, what happened on that trip?
Sure. Before I go into the story, I just want to say that I wish I could have seen Ivan with AI. That would have been something. To watch Ivan on a computer, I don't mean to segue, but Ivan and AI. We have AI and we have Ivan. And that would have been the questions that he would have posed, and just I can't even imagine.
Pretty sure if Ivan just heard that message, he would have gone through that plate glass window and be a bunker somewhere with his name on it.
Yes. All right. So going back to the story. So I'm just going to lay a little groundwork. So Ivan, like you said, a unique individual, great friend, did a lot of wrestling commentary with him. And again, that's another story for another day. But he was a germaphobe. And I can tell you numerous stories about how he just was a germaphobe. And we'll probably, we'll do Tales of Ivan. There'll be plenty of them that we'll go over with you. But this one in particular is Philadelphia trip. We were going down to Philly to, we were involved in many, many years of a show called WrestleVision. And one of the things we were tasked with is we would travel, film independent wrestling shows, and we would do commentary on them. Ivan and myself, and the big guy would be the producer of the shows, and we would air them back here in Rochester, New York, on a local station, our TV show. It was like a variety show. So we went to Philadelphia. We stayed at a Red Roof Inn because we had driven up the night before, and we were in a Red Roof Inn. So Ivan went to go take a shower, and anyone that knows Ivan and the showers, they could last for at least an hour.
Well, we should say this was our first time.
Yes.
So we didn't know at the time.
Correct.
And Ivan went first, and he said he was going to be quick.
Thank you for that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so he said he was going to be quick. So he was in there for, like I said, it was quite a long time. Now, Ivan came out of the bathroom, after he showered, he was dressed, and he said I don't even think he told us. I think with the next person whether it was you or I went in, and the sink, the tub was filled to the top with water, like dirty water. He had showered in there, and he was in there for an hour. So, okay. So I'm like, Ivan, what's going on? He's like, oh, it's clogged. I'm like, okay, well, did you unclog it? Now, remember, he's a germaphobe. Ivan refused to take his hand and stick it into the water. Now, this is his own bath water. He refused to stick his hand into the water, which had, again, risen up to the brim of the tub, and did not want to go and play around with the clog, which we thought it was a clog at the time. We thought it was a clog.
And set the scene a little, because the bathroom itself had multiple towels everywhere, and those individual wet wipe wrappers everywhere.
Which was a staple of Ivan. We always knew where Ivan was. Some people lay breadcrumbs. Well, we knew where Ivan was based on his hand wipe packages that they came in, because he would just freely leave them where he was. I guess it would be littering. Anyways, so
it was a different time.
Yes, it was a different time. So I wasn't going to stick my hand in there. There was the big guy. So we were like, Ivan, you got to get this drain clean. We got to get going. We have to take showers. So Ivan came up with the idea where he was going to leave the room at Red Roof. Now, Red Roof opens, the doors open up to the outside. So he ran outside, went into the parking lot, and where the area where there's a lawn and a tree, and took a branch, and went back into the bathtub and was taking the branch and sticking it in the water into what he thought was being clogged, the drain. So he kept doing it, and the drain's not going down. And we're all getting frustrated because he won't just stick his hand in there. He refuses to stick his hand in there to feel around.
So just to repeat, he went out to the parking lot, broke a branch off a tree, and is using a branch with the leaves and the branches, and he's jamming. Did the thing.
Now we have to be somewhere, so we're me and the big guy are like, we have to shower, and this is just taking too much time. So we're all getting frustrated, and so make a long story short, at the end of the day, I don't know if it was big guy or myself or me. I realized that the drain was closed, so I just took the handle and opened the drain, and the water all went down. So what had happened was Ivan hit the drain thing, so it would, you know, produce a bath, not knowing it.
But you did have to stick your hand.
I did. Finally, I had enough. I'm like, all right, this is enough already, you know. So I went in and did it, clean and pulled just to see. I was like, it's got to be the drains because there was nothing in the drain. Clicked it, boom, water went right down. But that was just a scrape of some of the Ivan stories that we encountered. So we took showers, went to the event, went to the wrestling show, filmed, everything went fine.
While you were in the shower, I talked to him about his showering. Because I think he was in there for about 45 minutes.
At least, and we're not exaggerating out there, folks.
And I thought, you know, hey, Ivan, that was kind of a long shower. And he told me that was like the fastest shower he had ever taken. Because he's usually like 90 minutes to 2 hours. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that is Ivan the Impaler.
Yeah. And so that's just one of the stories you're going to hear. And again, we miss him dearly. And but he definitely no shortage of laughs and zany stories and antics from one Ivan Jack Godsick, the Impaler.
Yeah. All right. Before we go, any final parting shots, Scotty Bender?
Just again, this whole, you know, it was great that we're doing this podcast, and looking forward to bringing you more content here in the future. And just remember, this is for fun. We're having a good time with this, and we're just trying to point out some silliness and some things in society that maybe people don't talk about and are afraid to talk about. But we're not here at DIScontent of content.
Almost
is our content. Damn, it was right there.
That's right. Thanks for joining. Don't forget to purchase Blue Taffy.
Yeah, can't wait. I'm looking for that boner coma. That's something.
Oh, that's something to
or maybe take some and go into Arby's and get yelled at. I can't do Oh, this is gonna be fun.
We'll see you next time.
We'll see you.
DIScontent. I thought you might join in.
DIScontent is our content.
DIScontent
is our content.
Thank you.
Fans,
Bye.
take care.